There's one little bit of hair, and I can't find where. Oh, there it is. Gotcha. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is portfolio number 11 for my Trading 212 portfolio, and this one I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's been going on with my portfolio and kind of what's been happening with the market and where I see it might be going. So yeah, stick me in this one, let's see what we can get into. So overall in the last month, the market has not been so pretty. I think we can all agree on that. And the last video I uploaded was actually the 14th of November, and it was looking great. Everything was up. I was about £700-800 up, and I was thinking, yep, no, Santa rally straight into Christmas, straight into New Year. January's going to be bullish, and then they're going to start dipping because of the rate hikes and that kind of stuff. But no, the market had other ideas, and you can see that with my portfolio in just a second. But I just want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you like these kind of updates, my investing videos, the stocks for the future, and that kind of thing. And I really do appreciate the extra subscribe. And if you did, make sure you hit the comment down below saying that you did subscribe and that you're looking forward to the content or whatever. Say hello, whatever you want to do, and obviously hit the like button as well for the YouTube algorithm. And that's me finishing babbling on, and let's jump into the portfolio. So this is my portfolio, and you may recall from the last update I was actually around about 5,300 with a little bit of spare cash, and it has dropped right down to 4,269. Now in the last episode I talked a lot about how Tesla was mainly pushing that up anyway, and that's because Tesla dropped down to about 940, 950 at the time of recording. The market is still open, and I wish I could do a live trade for you, but I get paid next week and that'll be my next pot method input. So I don't have the cash from the income to actually put into my investments as of late. But if you are interested in me doing a live trade, then please leave a comment down below, and then I can do a bit of live trading with you and you can see what I'm buying at that time. Might be something that's interests you, but yeah, let me know as I just said. So I'll stop waffling now, so let's go back to the portfolio. £4,270 that I've got now, with free cash of £2. Now if we look onto the 1 month kind of graph of what's happened, and you can see around about, where was it, the 14th I said, well pretty much exactly that month there, I've been coming in and out of stocks, basically just kind of average down. I did actually make some moves. I sold ABML and I sold Twitter just because it hit those targets that I wanted to sell at. So ABML I sold at around about 120, maybe slightly lower than that as well, because it broke down that 120 support line that I had. If you are into ABML, then check out the video in the top right hand corner. I did a stock update recently about it. So if you're not too sure what it is, then go check that out. Anyway, so, and then I sold Twitter, as I just mentioned, and I sold that purely because it went down below that $49 mark that I may have mentioned in the last video. I can't quite remember, but I had 49 written on my my technical analysis graph, and it broke below that, and I think it's currently sitting around about 43, 44, so that was a correct move. So then I obviously had that cash on hand, so I averaged down positions. Positions such as Palantir, so you may have noticed, well not the exact number, but I've added more. I've added 30 shares, because I know what I've added. And then I've added some NEO. I added 8 shares of NEO, obviously not looking good at the moment, 14% down, £133. But again, this is a long-term portfolio. I'm very bullish on all of these stocks, apart from maybe IZEA, kind of coming off that one slightly. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And then I added a little bit more onto Etsy, just because it's one for the future, and I'm thinking if this market stays as it is for another week or so, then my pot method next week will probably going into kind of averaging down Palantir and a little bit more into Etsy. Those are my plans. Whether it goes like that, not too sure. So normally I'll go into the stocks and see what's happened in the last month or so, but I want to keep this one a little bit more brief, a little bit more kind of, because you're watching lots of videos at the moment, let's be honest. The market's in disarray, and you want to watch more stock market crash videos and what's going on with the market, and I just want to keep this brief. And the more I waffle on, the less it's getting brief. So let's have a look. Etsy up 29%, fantastic, I'll take that. IZEA worldwide, obviously this is a long-term hold as well. The reason I say I'm going off of it is because they're just not showing much growth, and I think the next 2 earnings reports, I'll hold it for another kind of 5 or 6 months or so. If I don't see anything in those earnings reports, any stock movement regarding those earnings reports, then I may just have to cut the loss, take that loss, and then move that cash into a higher conviction stock such as Palantir, Etsy, Tesla, you know the drill. So that's my plans for that. Obviously it is only the value of 164, so it's not really doing anything in my portfolio anyway, so I'll just let that sit there and do what it does. Nano Dimension, very good company for the future. They have very much bled out, as you can see, in the last 3 months to a year. You can see actually my dotted line is very good line of support, so if we can get back up there, that'd be fantastic. That is another one actually I averaged down to 546, which I'm happy about. And then we move on to NEO, as you can see here. Nice little rebound today, which is good. Now average down to just below $36, which I'm very happy about. Would like to come down maybe a little bit more, so I might again use some of that cash next week if it's in the same sort of position, just to add 3 or 4 shares, just to bring it down that extra few cents. Because it does matter in the long run. You do make the extra percentage, especially if you're holding for 3, 4, 5 years. Those extra little bits of percentage do add up, and it does accelerate very fast. At least obviously in my opinion. Now moving on, Palantir, I've got nothing but high hopes for these guys. They're very much in tie with the government, the commercial side, the army, they're everywhere. So yeah, obviously it is 5% down now, only £50, that's not too bad, but my average price is 2021. Whoa, 2021. That would be annoying in about a couple of weeks. But like I said, if it stays like this in the next week or so, I will be averaging it down. Hopefully I can get it under 20. But we'll see. So let's go back and look at Tesla. So obviously sitting pretty high at, itchy back. Sitting pretty high at 1,428, up 584, and you can already see I was up around about 980 I think in the last video, maybe just 900 or something like that. So again, that's £400 just in one stock. And that's why you've seen the massive drop from 5.3 to 4.2. That's what happens when you invest in high growth stocks, the kind of tech companies. They're very volatile, especially the ones that are very popular, because you've got lots of volume coming in. If it's a bad day, then the volume comes in negatively, so that it shoots the stock down. If it's a good day, then it shoots the stock back up. That's just how it is. That's how high growth stocks work. At least what I've experienced when I've started investing about a year or so ago. So yeah, I mean, that is just the nature of the portfolio. And you can even see that in the last month. So I was up around about here, 842, even went up to 920, 924, dropped down to 700, 800, and you can get a picture. I went down to 200, back up to 550, and then 300, and then obviously it went negative, would you believe, actually in the last week or so. This is the last week. This is how choppy the market's been. Now let's have a look at the dotted line here. So you can see the dotted line in the first 2 weeks of the month there, very up and down. And then I went basically all in, as they say, on December 3rd, I think it was. Oh yeah, there we are. So December 3rd, I went all in basically. It was a very red day in the market. I thought, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to put all my market into my high conviction stock. So I added obviously Palantir NEO, as I mentioned before, and I'm just going to let it ride, obviously until my next pot method intake. If you don't know what a pot method is, watch the video. And then obviously, like I said before, the dotted line in the last 2 weeks, just haven't touched it. Haven't sold, haven't bought. I'm just going to let it ride. I believe in these stocks, and that's how it should be with long-term investing. If you believe in the company, there's a reason why you've put money in it in the first place. Believe in it, stay strong. If it's a red day, turn your phone off, switch off completely, go on to your other hobbies if you've got any, go spend some time with some loved ones, take a walk. That's a good one. That's what I do sometimes. Just take a walk, very long, 2-3 hour walk. Read a book, anything to take your mind off the market. So those are my tips to kind of get through the red days. I know a lot of you are hurting out there, a lot of you are in massive red, but my message to you is, if you can, keep putting in consistent amounts of money, dollar cost averaging, which is what that's called, which you've probably heard before. If you can do that, then obviously do that, then you slowly average down the prices. That's how the best investors do. They dollar cost average and they make the most money in the long term. So yeah, that's my advice to you in terms of this kind of turmoil that we're in and how to invest throughout. So we just jump over to the allocations very, very quickly, because there's not really a lot to see. Tesla, again, very high, and Palantir, NEO, Nano Dimension, all kind of close. I am looking towards, in 2022, a more kind of high growth strategy. So what I'm going to do is push more money into Palantir, because I do believe that would be kind of very big in 5 to 10 years time. And then obviously NEO as well, which I'm very bullish on, but it is also a automotive play with Tesla up there. So I'll probably go Tesla, Palantir, NEO as my highest conviction in that order. Obviously things may change, we'll see what happens, but that is my current thinking within my portfolio. Moving down, we've got Nano Dimension. When that becomes level or slightly up, I will be trimming that down and hopefully adding a little bit more into Etsy and perhaps another stock, because I don't want to just have 6, I want to have 7 or 8 stocks in my portfolio. But obviously I've had to do what I've had to do now due to risk transfer, etc., and all that kind of jazz. I do have a video on risk transfer which you can watch as well. So that's my allocations, that's where my portfolio is. I'm happy with it, even though the market's all over the place at the moment with Omicron and rate hikes and the Fed talks and all that kind of stuff. It's all just noise. If I come back in 5 years time and my portfolio is up hundreds of percents, then I'm very happy about that. I've done my job, I've done what I can at this present day, and that's all I can do. Now I just wanted to share with you a couple of screenshots. Now it's related to a little bit of technical analysis that I've did, but I'm not going to jump into that because what's the point? So I'm just going to show you a couple of screenshots instead. So back here on the 3rd of December, which is actually ironically why I bought, it was at the lowest of 14.9. Now this is the Nasdaq indice. You can also look at the SPY, but I like to look at the Nasdaq because most of my stocks are Nasdaq stocks. And you can see it went up and it came back down to those kind of levels in the last, well, today actually, 15,000. So you can see that kind of W shape, which is quite popular within investing. Again, we won't go into that, but you can see it's bounced off of that level twice. And that for me is a very good sign of support. But now obviously supports can be made to be broken, obviously resistance will also be made to be broken as well. Does this mean this is a recovery? Who knows? I'm not sending false hope out there, but it's something to keep in mind when you're investing, and obviously dollar cost averaging generally. Now before I end this video, I do have a very special video coming out on Christmas Day which I would love for you to watch. It's basically all my bloopers in one video. I'll stick a link for it up here obviously when it airs, so if you're watching this and then you think of that, then yeah, bloody blah. If you like my thoughts on investing, or if you like this type of content, obviously please do subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate that. And you can also hit me up on Twitter as well. Give us a follow, have a little chat if you want to ask some questions, that's okay. Or likewise if you want to leave it just in the comments down below if you don't do Twitter and that kind of thing. That I do appreciate that as well. I'll give you just a short moment to like the video. Okay, that should have done it, and I really do appreciate that because it pushes out to a new audience. People get to see me talk about investing and hopefully help them invest as well. Obviously I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there, and we all like to kind of help as many people as we can to start investing, cope for investing, for that ultimately their monetary goals. That's definitely a word. So yeah, I want to help people get to their goals basically, ultimately with retirement, kids, that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm rambling again. I did try and keep this video quite short, but I don't know if that succeeded. I'm currently on quite a few minutes recording. I'm just going to end it here. Take care, invest safe, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.